that the committee has found information that Kimberly Guilfoyle was paid $60,000 to speak at the rally on January 6th. $60,000 for a speech that was what, 3 minutes?
If that.
If that, 3 minutes long. And what have you heard over the last several hours since that revelation about how people in Trump world feel about that?
So I want to say two things about that. People in Trump world are sharing that clip. They are aghast that this is the amount of money that she got for a speech to introduce her boyfriend. They couldn't really get over. I had one former advisor say to me, essentially, these were folks who were raising money in small amounts from retirees, telling them this was going to some legal fight that didn't really happen, and instead Kimberly Guilfoyle is getting paid. But this is the whole ecosystem. So it's fine that some people are upset about this, but there's some level of this that often goes on around Trump, and it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
Yeah, there's just huge amounts of grift, obviously. Almost all of politics is grift. In a year or two, that'll be literally the entire thing. We won't even have elected office anymore. And $60,000 in comparison to the $250 million that Trump stole from his fans for his non-existent attempt to challenge the results of the election. That's not a lot of money, but I don't know, sometimes it takes something like this to really get through to people. Like $250 million is almost impossibly large to conceive of. It's almost too big. But $60,000 for a 2-minute introduction of her boyfriend that I would argue she would probably have done for free. I mean, it's her boyfriend who's speaking there. She's gonna be there anyway. She probably could have done it pro bono. I mean, this is just, they stole the money and then they hand it out to the people that they like. That's it. How many $17 small dollar donations from poor conservatives does it take to add up to $60,000 for 2 minutes worth of work? Less than one commercial break worth of work for Kimberly Guilfoyle. And I will give her this. We know from the RNC speech that she puts her all into these things. She'll go crazy during these speeches, but I don't think it's worth more than $50,000. Yasmin, what do you think?
Oh man, I'm not an envious person, but I really wish somebody would pay me $60,000 to speak for 2 minutes. I really want to hate the hustle though. But it's, I mean, it was egregious whenever we found out that Omarosa was in the White House doing who knows what and getting paid 6 figures to do it. But even then, that was over the course of a year, if not more, that she was paid for that. Whatever her service was while she was there. This is 2 minutes, and that's an entire year's salary for a lot of Americans. And It really is, the smaller numbers do help to put things into perspective in a way that $250 million is really just a hard number to wrap your head around, right? And it's like what you were saying, how many of those individual donations needed to be donated in order to get to this egregious amount of money that we can just give it to somebody who's not even anybody, she's just somebody's girlfriend, and I don't know. It blows my mind and I'm jealous and I hate it.
Yeah, I just this is how it works. This is what so much of it is. There's there's window dressing of policy sometimes, but these people, they just can't help but be wealthy. It all lines up to poor people who desperately need help. Both people that we might agree with on a lot of different things and some people that we might not desperately need help. And just the money flows to the worst people, literally the worst people. Thank you to everyone in the audience who worked it out too. It takes 3,529 $17 donations. That is, imagine the crowd of conservatives who just handed the money to Kimberly Guilfoyle, a person who's already wealthy. She was a host on Fox News. She was married to Gavin Newsom and everything. She's got money. She didn't need the money for that. I don't know. It's not gonna matter. I think that these people are they're not, vaccinated against COVID, but they're inoculated against reason or understanding how they're being conned. But this sort of thing should get to them. I don't understand it.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.